I've got the undertray of the Toyota Alphard, which is similar to any other car. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and repair these cracks which have occurred just over time. They reduce rigidity off the tray and causes flapping, and of course that has a knock-on effect on the other components, which also crack as well. So this is the underside of it. So what first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this hot glue gun so I can approximate the two bits together. Okay, that's what I'm going to do first. So that's the glue applied. I got somebody else to help me here just to do that whilst I held the pieces together. They glued it on for me. So that's the glue dried, and if I turn it upside down, or the part which is in the way, you can just see now the crack is pretty well approximated. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some fiberglass up, and I've roughened up the surface using a bit of sandpaper, and I'm going to apply this fiberglass on like so. Try and get it. I'm going to put 3 layers, and this is woven fiberglass. It's going to be the inside, so no one's going to see it, and hopefully going to be neater than my previous jobs that I've done. Okay, that's the layer of fiberglass resin painted on, and I'm now going to apply the webbing on top. And that's the first layer of webbing applied. I'm going to put a second layer on top of it again, just to give it a little bit extra strength. And I'm thinking maybe a third layer, and that should do it. So I'll just get crack on, and then I'll stop and show again. So that's me now put actually 4 layers on there. I've pushed up as tight as I can do to the contours, and I'm going to wait for that now to set, and then I'm going to turn it upside down and then have a look at the crack on the other side and try to work something into there so that we've got a nice smooth finish. This stops looking a bit ragged, and then finally I'll spray paint it black just to make it look prettier. So that's a crack shown the other side, and my plan of attack is to put it's fiberglass on the opposite side, as you know, and his plan of attack is to use the hot glue gun along with this screwdriver, and I'm going to just basically force the hot glue gun into that hot glue into that crack, leaving it slightly proud, and I'll just sand it down. And we're going to sand it down because I was having a good think about all my repairs, and always trying to get to about 80% of where it just works. But this time I'm going to try and make it look a bit prettier than what I normally do. And again, this has all been done during the COVID virus 2020 episode. So a video a day, hopefully. Used as a Dremel or a Dremel equivalent-ish kind of thing, which is got this little thing on here just to polish off the glue, just try and get it close to the surface. And what I'm going to do is going to just go over that with a sandpaper and see if I can get it a little bit smoother, because as we're trying to do things better than my usual standards, since I've got all the time in the world today to do this. You can see there, that's where we are. So that's it now. And now, right, what I've done is when I was using the high-speed Dremel, it was heating up the glue and making it softer, which to some degree allowed me to push in more. So now I'm using a file just to file it off. I'm not using sandpaper because I figured sandpaper would clog up quite quickly. So I've used a file there, and a smaller file with a little curve on it on this side, just to get into these areas. Over here there's a little bit of vacant space. I'm just going to fill that up, and then after this I'm going to take it over and spray paint the facing side all the same color, just to make it look a little bit better. And I did actually decide to go back and use some sandpaper, and that's just actually taken it down a little bit better, and I've filled up that little hole there. I've not done that bit there, which just won a little bit, but I thought, you know what, I'm just focusing on what I do. The black, shiny black thing looks like a hole, but it's not. It's where I put the new glue. So the next thing is just to paint it over. Again, just looking at further down, and I should have looked at it further. I found this one, I completely forgot I had this one to do as well, so that's what I'm going to work on just now. I'm going to repair that, and I'll work out a way that I'm going to do that. Probably a similar kind of way, but I might reinforce this one with maybe a washer at the back. So slightly different technique here. What I've done is I've got a copper washer heated up on the fire, and placed it to hold the two components together. So let me see if I'm getting closer to that. Okay, and let me see if I can switch it onto there. There we go. So I've heated it up and it's sunk into there, and that will lock everything together. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to do the fiberglass repair to the side where the crack is, and that will hold that crack together there. Okay. Slight change of mind. What I've realized from other things is when you get these nice curves like this, then these are important because they mate with the opposite surface. So what I've done is I've used a plastic knife and heat it up to its melting, and then run it into the area whilst putting the heat up against it, so it softens the plastic and dropping into there. And we'll see if that works. Yes, for this, as I said, I'm trying things to make things look a little bit better than my normal jobs. Aim for about 80% of this. I'm going to try and do something quite good. So that's the repair so far. I've just filed it down. I'm going to use the sandpaper again, and I'm just going to try and get this washer a little bit more flush with the trim. So I decided to take the copper washer out, reheat it with a hotter flame, drop it in again, and just flip some of the burnt plastic over it to locate it nicely. So that's done, and what we're going to now do is going to spray paint the whole shebang over, and that crack has been repaired with that bit of plastic there, which is a bit ropey, but hey, you know, well, no, it's not hey, it should be better, but yeah, it's kind of like holding it. And that's where, again, professionals come in, and that's why buying brand new parts comes in better. But I think it's going to work. I've still not achieved my perfection, but as I said, just keep trying, and eventually maybe I'll get there. So I'm back in the garage again, which is always messy, and that's it now, sprayed with the first coating of black, just to try and conceal everything, just make it look a little bit prettier. And then I'll do another coating and I'll show you the final result at the end. Hi there, so that's the repairs now completed. That's the one which I did with the copper ring on it, and I did another one which I've just got to find it. Just got to find where it is. It's one of the circular ones. That's it there. Let's turn it around. Up there's a repair on that side. Yeah, so there we go. There's the crack repair on that one there, and there's a repair on that side there. And we painted it with impact resistant paint, but then ran out because it's COVID time, and I had to use something else, which was just whatever paint I could find, which is stove paint, but you can do that apparently, impact resistant paint and stove paint on top. I hope this video has been useful. As I said, you'll notice that I'm not wearing gloves etc. for most of this, because just gloves that are in short supply and needed by the medical profession.